I know I asked for an intro. I was here when I asked for it. Why are you in the middle?
I think the no intro is the intro.
But why are you in the middle?
It's basically on brand for XG.
What, just to be chaos?
To be unplanned and
Where was you last week?
Where was I? I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know.
Right. Here's what's going to happen today. Wait. We are talking about Ten Hag's press conference. We've got some quotes. We're going to talk about who's been injured. Rashford and Ten Hag getting manager and player of the month, which is mint. I didn't expect that. We'll talk about that. Ronaldo started drinking coffee. We'll find out what the fallout of that is and has been. And we'll see what else is going on in the world.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
No, him.
Oh.
Cristiano Ronaldo probably still doesn't drink coffee. There's a question for the comments. Do you reckon, yes or no, does Cristiano Ronaldo drink coffee, or is that too spicy for him?
I reckon he has one a day at like the exact same time.
Let's throw in an allegedly and think, what do you reckon he actually has taken?
Why do you need an allegedly?
No, what do you think he has taken that isn't accessible to the average Joe?
Oh, I said this on camera a few times, right? I could believe any lie you would tell me about Cristiano Ronaldo. If you told me that he sleeps in like a pink goo with like a snorkel to stop the aging process, I'd be like, yeah, I can buy that. There's nothing you could make up that I wouldn't believe.
Thing is, it'll be in
he's like 4 blood transfusions a month. I'd go, yeah, I could see that.
He'll be eating like the best quality food ever, though. Like he'll be getting like stuff shipped from
steaks that
from
he
Madeira.
Eats, he
to
will
Manchester.
know the name of the cow.
Exactly.
Notch said that Ronaldo probably drinks sushi.
Drink sushi.
You could tell me anything about it, and I believe it.
What do you mean drink?
Drink sushi might actually be the nastiest.
Is that a thing?
Colin Hilton says, I reckon flavoured water's too spicy for Ronaldo. I reckon it's got too many carbs in it.
Do you know what? You've actually
sugars.
Flavoured water. You've caught me out. I'm not a spice guy. She's really on brand for a Jamaican.
Yeah, I question your ethnicity.
What Ronaldo we talking about here?
I spent a good couple of years, early days, Nando's, where I was strictly plain.
What?
Do you know what I mean? But I kept it secret because it's a bit shameful.
What do you have now?
Then I upgraded to medium.
Do you have to hand your Jamaican card back for that?
No, you don't. Almost. there's worse reasons. But, do you know what I mean?
I don't think you're allowed to do that. You can't have I honestly don't know anyone that goes and has plain.
I did. And I've upgraded to medium out of peer pressure. Literally. Everyone's like... Oh, my God. Right. I got a question for Ronaldo later on air, and I'll give it you. We get to 1,000 likes, because you are going to want to get the answer for this one. Right. Erik Ten Hag's press conference today. He said Maguire is injured.
Good. Anyway, happy, sad?
What?
Happy, sad?
Absolutely no comment whatsoever, because people are saying having any sort of opinion on the facts about Harry Maguire at the moment are harassment nowadays.
So I prefer not to speak.
I hope he heals up.
I prefer not to speak.
If we speak.
He says Marshall and Rashford are doubts. I think there's a little bit of game playing going on with this, which is good.
Do you think?
Yeah, there's a lot of that in the NFL and American sports. You know, where like there's a press conference or a team talk where they're quite tight-lipped about who's injured, who's on the injury report, who's not, because you've got a whole week. Pep would have planned for a certain way, probably for the speed on the counter, the speed on the transition, and he's probably thinking, if I put a feeler out that he's playing or he's not playing, then it gives Pep time to adjust. Which might mean that if Rashford and Martial aren't playing, he could throw a massive spanner in the works. Because I was going to ask you, what do you actually think would happen, without spoiling the preview, if them two aren't available? Do you think it's definitely Ronaldo, or do you think he'd actually do something different?
You have got the potential of using Alanga. You have got the potential of Bruno in the false nine and bring Casemiro into the team, which I don't think weakens the team. You've got options there. But I think if... I've just finished reading Leading by Sir Alex Ferguson. If you've not, it's a genuinely top book. And he talks a lot in there about visitors to Carrington, team news, leaks, those sorts of things, and his opinion on them. And he was pretty open with a lot of things, but who was training in the build-up to games, like he saw his arse royal if those sorts of things got out, and he would limit, visitors to come and see a couple of minutes. He does mention he has a couple of old United fans, which I think some of those guys have passed away now. I think one of them actually passed away after after the treble or after the 2008 in Moscow, I think, or it might have been the year we caught Liverpool or overtook Liverpool. One of those. Well, I know one of the guys has passed away. He was in his 80s, and he used to invite them guys, which is so cool because it's nothing you never heard of.
To training,
yeah, like
every
3
week.
old blokes, and he
Every
goes,
day.
I would invite them to training to gauge the fan mood and also to see what they were thinking in terms of how the team was reacting. Just have a coffee with them and talk about the game and that. And he goes, but he trusted them to always keep their counsel and never blab to the papers about what was going on and stuff like that. And he said, after whichever success it was, I'm pretty sure it was after we overtook Liverpool, he said the old geezer went and shook every player's hand and said, yeah, you've made me a happy man. And then I think he passed away that night, I think. Really cool story. But Fergie was obsessive about not letting the team news out, and you have to remember that time with I can't remember who we played. I think it was Chelsea. It might have been the Chelsea game where Rashford scored that free kick, where do like the MEN go and take photos of who's getting on the train and that. Well, he told Rashford and Martial to get a different train.
Really?
So they were photographed. This was the team, and I think Zlatan was out. Someone else was out.
That's clever, isn't it?
And it was like we didn't have a striker going down to Chelsea, and there was panic. But I'd heard, and what actually happened was Martial and Rashford got the next train.
I love that that's someone's job to look into stuff like that. Do you think there's rules that are like telling managers you cannot lie?
I was going to ask that.
Because
could they lie?
Because what if he comes out and he says they're not playing? Martial and Rashford, they're not playing. And then like they're in the starting lineup.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know why that should happen more.
I'm pretty sure Pep's done something similar to that before.
But why doesn't that happen more? Because that in a massive game, a
Chael
massive
Sonnen.
tactical game.
Chael Sonnen, he's got a brilliant podcast, by the way, in MMA. He when talking about fighting and the promotion and the sort of theatre of selling tickets for fights, he says the second the referee raises my hand or your hand in this fight, the promotion for the next fight starts. That second, same second. Boom. Now we're promoting the next fight. And he goes, and when I'm on the microphone, he goes, I owe you nothing, including the truth.
Yeah, it's true.
It is truthful though, because if Ten Hag did come out and just been like, everyone's fit, and then but the thing is, the flip side of it, what if he comes in and goes, Ronaldo, Rashford and Martial are completely fit, are in contention to start on the weekend, and then they're not in the squad?
Yeah, but I don't understand why that's not a problem.
No, I feel like obviously it'd be gamesmanship, but then it's like, what would people think about his future press conference when you ask him the same questions? Do you think he becomes a bit of a liability?
Again,
is he like
he owes the press nothing, including the truth. And I stand right behind Chael Sonnen in that. Whatever he said, me and Dre did it today. He goes, what's the team news for weekend? I went, here's the team news, but...
This is for paddock match preview, by the way.
Yeah, for our match tomorrow. I went, I don't know if I want you to write that that's what the team news is.
Yeah.
In case someone sees it and then makes an adjustment accordingly.
Yeah.
But obviously, because you get this, I remember there's Marshawn Lynch who played for the Seattle Seahawks. In every single interview that he ever did, or post-game interview, he just basically was... his answers to every single question was...
Is this the guy that said I'm only here because...
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
The thing is, it might
And he literally said that his whole career. He said he just didn't like the media. So he was literally standing there. They would ask him, so what did you think about your performance today? He goes, I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Well, that's what I mean. Like they're required to go. They're required to go to these press conferences and interviews, but they're not required to give the truth.
Yeah.
So why should they?
The thing is, an injury situation can change.
Yeah.
He can go in and go, Doctor told me. Because here's the thing. You're technically not allowed to know because of patient confidentiality. You shouldn't really be able to ask who's injured. Because that's someone's private... This is where football is weird, right? Because, like, if you said to me, like, is he playing tomorrow? And I go, no, he's injured. Technically, I might have broken the law by giving away his confidential medical thingies. But we sort of accept this because people are interested and there is a bit of a public requirement or a public interest in the answers to that sort of stuff. But, it's a player's personal medical sort of situation. Yeah. So you shouldn't really, like... Realistically, a manager should just be able to go, he's not available this week. And that should be like all they get to say. And they should, well, when's he back? When he's available. Like that should literally be the whole, but obviously we go, sometimes you see the injury happen on the pitch. So if someone breaks their leg or something, you go, well, obviously he's going to be out for a long time with this. Like, so there's weird intricacies of injuries, especially, and how they're sort of communicated with the press. But yeah, I think as a manager, you owe the press nothing.
I just think it's interesting though that like there isn't more managers lying. And when I say lie, I mean like straight up lie. Like I said, Martial and Rashford,
you know
they're
what-
not
do you know-
playing.
I'm gonna play
Ronaldo's starting up top. Ronaldo's starting up top.
I'm gonna try
and
and
then
centre half.
who walks out onto the pitch? Ronaldo's got
No,
his,
the reason-
his
I
jacket
reckon- I reckon the reason
and
for
Martial and Rashford are there. That never happens.
I think the reason for it is just the fact that it's not that deep.
You
At
are
the end of the
right.
day, I think majority of the time, game to game, and it's because it's not a derby every week. I don't think, or it's not a big game every week. I don't think there's a necessity for a manager to really lie. Probably that's the reason why they just tell the truth, or they give maybe not the whole truth, or they just give a slight inkling, or they keep it kind of open ended or a little bit ambiguous.
Fergie mentions in that book that he used to hate answering the question about injuries
Why is that?
because he didn't want to give away the information.
As in for the
Just do
reason
it,
that it
yeah.
will might damage the team because people know about it, or because he doesn't want to tell them about the
He doesn't
players'
want opposition
privacy.
having any sort of intelligence.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's fair enough. It's just
If,
interesting.
if you genuinely know Manchester United got no forwards this weekend, you can plan accordingly, and your game plan might change. If you think everybody's available, or let's say it was like Martinez and Varane were injured this week, and you go, oh, that might change how you line up.
yeah.
Manchester City is probably the worst example of this because they will just line up how they were going to line up, whether they're playing us or Norwich. They won't change their game plan, probably. But for the vast majority of the middle of the bell curve, they are going to cut their cloth according to what you're going to do. Most teams are reactive. Only the very elite get to just turn up and play how they're going to play.
No, you're right. And that's probably why United are going to play a certain way this weekend.
Yeah, but what I was thinking is, so all right, so taking what he said, feel like he's being truthful. Ronaldo.
Sorry, one sec. Whitterbird says Ten Hag best manager in the press conference since Fergie. No, it was Louis van Gaal, and there is no one close.
Give this to Big Sam.
Yeah.
We're going to have a mince pie and a glass of wine.
He was
Fed
actually
man.
he was actually some character. But what we're saying is, if Rashford and Martial are fit,
If they're
you're
not
going
fit.
for if Rashford's not fit and it's between Martial and Ronaldo.
I think if any of those two are fit, they start up top and Ronaldo's on the bench.
Because what do you all right?
Rashford's got more match fitness and Ronaldo's got more match fitness.
I'd say the better
than
question
Tony
would be, out of them three, if you've got Ronaldo, Martial and Rashford as the three strikers right now, what is the pecking order between them three?
I think it depends game on game.
Game on game.
So
I think against
That sounds
Manchester,
it sounds a bit like a cop-out answer.
Manchester
against
City, Rashford.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
And then you play Sancho and
And then
Anthony
if
alongside.
Tony Marshall was match fit, him and Ronaldo is a lot closer than I think people want to admit.
I don't think it is.
You reckon?
I think both fit. Rashford's form says otherwise, but going into the season, especially after pre-season, it looked as if Martial was fit, he was the starting striker. So
But pre-season's pre-season.
and then he played half a game against Liverpool where he was really good, and then he's been injured since. So obviously he's got a reliability issue.
And match fitness will be a thing.
Yeah, and the match fitness will also be a thing. But the more and more the season goes on, the less and less it looks like Ten Hag believes in Ronaldo.
Well, how much of
mean?
this do you think? Because he has clearly at Portugal, you see the way he's been playing. He's not been playing as well as he did last season. How much of this do you think is because he missed pre-season? You have to remember he's 37 years old. A player of that age missing a pre-season for family issues, it's going to take an absolute massive toll on you as a player.
This isn't a
So
normal
do you think he's going to
player,
get better?
though. He's not like he got fat. He didn't Ricky Hatton it, did he, in pre-season?
Yeah, I don't think it's that. I just think it's a general
Sharpness
and a bit of a decline, really.
It could also just be the decline. If anyone was going to get it back, I would believe in Ronaldo to get it back, knowing how hard he works. And
Yeah.
you know,
I agree. I think he's going to get better as the season goes on, just as he gets
he
more
couldn't
and more
get
match
fucking
fit.
worse, could he? Let's be real.
That's what I mean.
he
But it's
couldn't
like-
really start digging from
Yeah.
where he's been.
It's, if you look at what he did last season, he still looked very sharp. He still looked very on it. It can't change that quickly in one season based on ability. You look at what's the elephant
Yes,
in the
it
room.
can.
It's the fact he missed
That
pre-season.
100% can.
Do you think?
100% can. Literally, if you're 37 years old, declines aren't always like linear or gradual. Sometimes they're just.
But then do you
They
not
can just be like.
So do you think he's at that standard now and that he can't get
No,
it back?
because it wasn't. People think people look at Ronaldo's season last year just on statistic based. I think the last few months of the season, we was already seeing a tail off.
He
in
was
his
scoring
performance.
goals, but his performances
exactly, he
weren't
was scoring
good.
goals.
And I know that
Yeah.
Haaland has had quiet performances where he's bagged this season, but there's a difference in that. You can't just say it's the same thing, that he's been quiet but he scored.
Ronaldo was scoring.
The performances just weren't really. It didn't feel like him. And
Yeah.
the problem is, once a striker declines, I think there's almost like a 98% correlation to this. When strikers over 30 start to drop, they don't ever tick back up again. Their numbers just decrease. And especially ones that relied on speed. Now, he's, over the last 4 or 5 years... Yeah. Well, that's why it's 98 and not 100.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Zlatan scored more goals post-30 than pre-30, which is fucking unheard of.
Benzema argument is because he had Ronaldo ahead of him, though.
James Woods,
And now
there
he's
with a
got space
super
to
chat.
breathe.
Let me just go to that before it gets off the screen. It says, City's Cup final this Sunday. Only time of the season they'll fill the 20,000 empty seats. Fancy us on Sunday. Martinez winner.
Can you imagine Martinez gets a winner?
Can you? I think he gets sent off if he scores. Because I think he just goes off.
runs.
Yeah, he just goes off, doesn't
It'll
he?
already be booked,
just
and he'll
pelts
just
it.
top off in the crowd.
Abhinav says, do I think Ronaldo's consulting a psychologist for depression? Well, he met with...
Jordan Peterson?
And he is a clinical psychologist, right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
So cause I thought maybe he was doing content with him.
No, I saw a video of Jordan Peterson talking about it, and he said Ronaldo wanted to speak to me, which is interesting. Like, fair play.
I think everyone's assumption Ronaldo will do every single thing he can to make this right. Mm-hmm. And that's why I believe he probably will see a bit of an uptick towards the end of the season. But the end might be here.
But you are right. Like, I can look at it and think, he's missed pre-season, he's playing worse. That's got to be the reason why. But he's 37. He can't just keep doing it.
I don't think that's
keep doing it.
Because as I said...
Biological age is 20s on it.
As I said, not pre-season withstanding. It's not like... His season last year where he scored goals, which you can't begrudge him for, but his actual performances weren't necessarily equal to that. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like... I think what you've seen now is that he's probably playing at a similar level, a little bit lower to last year, but he's just not getting the time or the goals. And that's the biggest difference. And also, last season, it was more... We talked about this. The goals might be more spread out between the attack and the midfield this year, which will make the team better. Whereas last season... It was either Ronaldo score or we didn't. And that's because when Ronaldo plays, it becomes very Ronaldo orientated. So it all looks good when he's getting a goal and that and whatever. But in terms of the function of the team and the ceiling of the team, it's not as high.
Yeah.
That's basically what...
I see that argument. I think he's required to run a lot more this season as well. Like even for Portugal against Spain the other day, like he was getting the ball and almost just losing it at his feet. But he didn't have to do that so much last season because he was always in the box. Like, think about his goal. Like his last minute winners in the Champions League, header, the deflection off Lingard, but even like his goals against Arsenal.
What about this
these are goals when he's in the box
as a potential thing? Like, as an athlete, he's inhuman, but the guy is a human, and this is a guy that lost a child this year.
Yeah, well, that's why he missed pre-season. That's probably why he saw Dr. Jordan Peterson.
But it was during the season last year, wasn't it? Wasn't it ahead of the derby last year?
Because they did like minutes applause and stuff for him. Yeah.
So,
well, there you go.
You don't know how he's coping with that because he's clearly someone that values his time. Like, you see the photos of him and his kids all the time. He obviously puts them at the forefront of his life. You don't know what impact that's having on him. You don't know what that impact that's having on his missus. And if your missus is having a bad time, you're having a bad time. That's how it works. If she's not coping with that well, your home environment has to be stable for you to be able to go to work and excel, especially in the Premier League and at Manchester United, with all the pressure and scrutiny that comes with being a Manchester United player and being Cristiano Ronaldo. You don't know how grief affects you in that way. Now, when he was younger, obviously he lost his father. He used that as fuel and energy in a certain way, but losing a child is different to losing a parent. I think we all expect to lose our parents. I don't think any of us expect to be burying one of our children. And I think... Yeah. You don't know how that's going to react.
And it's probably a combination of things. It's also the fact that the fact of him running away because he wasn't in the Champions League isn't just a complete soak fest. It's also, you can kind of see why he thinks that way. If you're going towards the end of the career, you've been Champions League all-time goal scorer, you've won it several times, you're basically one of the GOATs of the game, and you know that you've got little time left. And then a whole season's a very long time to not be in the pinnacle of football or to be in the Champions League. And I think him going into the season knowing that he's going to have to play Europa League or he can't play in that would have affected him as well. And also, it's also the thing of him not obviously being in the starting 11. And I think he probably thought there would have been more of a market for him when Mendes shocked him out a little bit, and
there was no
takers. For someone to have with the ego of Cristiano Ronaldo and the confidence that he has, that has to hit you.
That's
Do you
true.
know what I mean? Because it would have been.
So you've got a lot going on in his personal life here. Obviously,
Yeah.
burying a child, I can't fathom the impact that's had. You've lost your status as being the Champions League's guy. You're in a team that's not performing and probably had some weird shit going on behind the scenes that we'll never be privy to at the club.
Yeah.
Then you've had the kick in the bollocks of the only team that came into you was from Saudi Arabia. You're like, what, are they in the Champions League? No. All right, okay. So you've ended up stuck at Manchester United where the new manager's come in and he's a pretty strict fella, and he's kind of just gone, I actually prefer Tony Marshall. Like, there's, like, he's got an ego and his self-belief is going to be through the roof. But all of those things happening within a 6-month period.
Yeah, you're right.
That could be.
Yeah,
what's
well,
sucking
I mean,
off
like
that.
we always think it has to be one reason. It quite evidently is a bit of a lot of things, isn't it? Do you think he might go in January if a team comes in for him? Say, like obviously mid-season, some
he's not
teams
turned it
will
around,
realise, crap, we need a striker.
Well,
We
the
could
thing
get
is, what are we,
Ronaldo.
9 games? Is it 9 games to
Like a
the World
Champions
Cup?
League club.
Is it 9 games to the World Cup now? Is it 9 games? It's like 6 weeks, whatever it is.
So you think that, yeah,
It's
we've got
something
a couple
like that,
more
innit?
to play,
right? That's it. He could be gone after these 9 games, 9 weeks, whatever it is. Like, because the World Cup happens, there's like Boxing Day, then the window's open. Like, that could be it. And is there enough time in there for him to turn his form around? Yeah, I think so. There's a lot of games. He's going to be required to play at least, I would think, half of those, at the very least. If he stays injury-free, he'll play half of them games. Then he'll go to the World Cup. They'll do what they'll do at the World Cup. And then if he has or hasn't turned it around, yeah, you think that Mendes will probably be at least blowing someone's phone up.
Yeah, even just a loan move to the end of the season.
Yeah.
And then United send him, because then he'll be at the end of his contract, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Can you imagine Ronaldo going
Cristiano
on
Ronaldo on loan. Where? Now where though?
Tranmere.
It's happened. Monaco sent a lot of big players out on loan.
Nah, but I'm talking about. You very rarely see players with the wage packet of Cristiano Ronaldo going out on loan.
It would depend on if Ten Hag authorises it, primarily, because of the wages. He'll have to go. They'll have a very honest conversation about is he gonna add to us for the remaining 6 months of the season, or is he going to take away? And if Ten Hag thinks add, he'll stay. If he doesn't, he'll be allowed to go wherever he can find somewhere.
It's because in the
Then Ten Hag's going to want to have identified someone to come in that he believes in.
Because are you realising that we're actually here wondering whether against Man City, if Ronaldo or Martial, if Rashford and Martial were injured, that Ten Hag could possibly opt for
Bruno.
Alanga or Bruno up front instead of him.
And I don't think many people would question that.
And it's also it's a flip of what happened last year when we went away.
Yeah.
Didn't he start
Bruno
and Pogba as the front two, or was it something?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Something like that. And then Ronaldo went to Portugal on, what was it? Some urgent
it was an injury, wasn't it?
family matter.
I was injured. I didn't want to play anyway. No, I think he was injured.
Was that not when his...
No, I don't think it was
son
when
or
his
daughter died,
when what happened with his kid.
Basically,
I think he was injured.
The rumours were that he found out that he wasn't going to start against
Yeah,
City,
yeah.
and then basically said, "Oh, I've got a thigh injury,"
Doesn't
and then went
surprise
to Portugal.
Yeah, I
Because if you're the greatest
Yeah.
player of all time, or arguably one of, and you find that out, you're going to be fuming. Your ego's going to take such a big, like,
He just
kind of
never, you know what it is,
damage, do you know
Ronaldo.
what
He
I
just
mean?
never really knew what the bench felt like.
But the thing is,
So
right, we got Ronaldo on the bench and we need a goal. What a player to come on and just score you a header. What a player.
but that's what he's going to have to be now. He's going to have to be a
I know,
potential,
but that's what I'm
like
saying.
a second. He's got to be a super sub option. He's got to be someone that offers something a little bit different.
Yeah.
Cristiano
that's
Ronaldo
like-
we
reduced
signed
to
a Gallo
super
to do the
You know
job
what I mean?
that he's doing now. How funny is that? Who would you rather, Odion Gallo or Cristiano Ronaldo?
What the fuck is that as a question?
What the hell?
Do you know what I mean?
Right. Anyway.
No, anyway,
So
we'll
here's
move
the
on.
rest of the quotes. we got
Move on.
we got a super chat there from James Woods, and he says, "Anyone want to talk about how little Klopp is under pressure?" Obviously.
Credit in
So
the
here's
bank.
what he says then. Fuck it. You've seen the quotes. Do we need the quotes? Do you want the quotes? Or are you happy with the rest of it? Anyway, let's talk about the game because I've not actually seen this one. I've seen the one of the players. You didn't need to move it then. I was in the middle of it. Keep going. Stop. Ten Hag on the game. I approach this by looking at ourselves. We want to win every game. The aim for Sunday is nothing else. We have to do our best, and of course, a good plan and execution. He said, when asked about Haaland, he goes, "You don't play against Haaland, we play against Manchester City." You're mental if you don't think about Haaland, though.
Yeah, but he knows he's got Lisandro Martinez, so he's sound.
So basically, Ten Hag dismisses Haaland. There we go.
When asked about manager of the month award, congratulations. He says, "We achieve it as a group. We did it together, and it tells us we're in the right direction." I said just before we went on air, didn't I? Because United have just posted it. He's just took a photograph of his entire staff, and I can't tell you how much I love that. I've won manager of the month. Cool. Get everyone out here on the balcony.
Squad effort.
Yep. Mint.
Even Eric Ramsey.
Yep. Steve McLaren in the background. Everyone having it, yeah. Everybody having it, yeah.
Steve McLaren's great when you see him walk to the dugout. He's got the balls over his shoulder and he's just loving it.
He's got a big, stupid grin on his face constantly.
What's the Ten Hag clone called?
Pardon?
His assistant.
Oh, Van de Gag.
Van de Gag. Some surname, though, innit?
He was in the photo.
Of course he was. Right, should we tell you what Ronaldo's question is? We'll go back up to the top for us, Chris.
It's not 1K likes, though, innit?
I don't know, give me 1,000 likes and I'll give you the question.
You're not going to get to 1,000 likes on it.
So obviously Rashford and Ten Hag getting manager of the month, player of the month. I was a little bit shocked. I'm going to be honest.
Because Ericsson won the United player of the month.
I think there was only two.
And Rashford's won the Premier League.
I think it's because there was only
there
was only 2 games in a month.
I know Rashford played 2 games, but did we play an extra? I don't think we did we?
There were 2 games and he scored 2 goals and 2 assists.
Yeah, it's a hell of a return.
So they gave him.
Okay, so the question I've got for Ronaldo then. Oh, actually, get liking the video and you tell me your experience with coffee. Because if you don't know, Dre's got like a whole TikTok thing going on where he goes and reviews coffee. I mean...
At Don Espresso. Follow me.
So what does it look like? Does it go...
So at Espresso Don.
Coffee, that, yeah?
Man, there's more to coffee, man. No, there's more to coffee.
This is...
So you just started drinking coffee, right? Is that...
This week, right?
It's a very recent thing. This whole coffee. Never really drank it, to be honest. So, and then, but the thing is, I asked Anna this as well. Does coffee as like a caramel frappe, like one of those the ice ones? That's basically a milkshake with a bit of coffee in it. Does that still count?
See, if you ask me, that is a no.
Does that count?
Nah, mate.
Because you're a coffee connoisseur.
Mate, you've got to go to a speciality coffee shop. So coffee beans, after they're roasted, are graded 1 to 100. 100 being the best. Anything above 80 is classified
so caramel
as
frappe with a shot of coffee doesn't count.
So things like Nescafe, all instant coffee, stuff you get from like Starbucks, Costa, Nero, this is all like very low quality, below 80. So it all tastes bad.
So do you have a coffee a day?
Yeah, I'd say I have 1 or 2.
All right, so I've had a coffee back to back for the first time.
How you feel?
And I feel a bit buzzed. And that's the thing. I haven't got the tolerance. And I thought I had palpitations earlier. I swear that. Do you know what I mean?
These are all normal
but I don't know
things,
whether... What's it called when... people in the comments will know.
What is it?
When you kind of imagine symptoms that you don't really have.
Hypochondria.
Is it better that?
Yeah.
Am I a coffee hypochondriac?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Ronaldo, was you here yesterday? Wasn't it yesterday, was you? No. Ronaldo told us a story yesterday that took an hour about how he didn't know where his gas meter was. Honestly, it took an hour. It wasn't a good story either, right? It took a fucking hour. He didn't know where the gas meter was in his house.
Listen,
and they phoned British Gas, and the woman from British Gas was telling him where it was, and he's going, nah. And that's where it was. It was like outside his house, on the outside of his house. And he didn't believe her and didn't even go out and check.
How did that take so long?
It took 9 hours.
It took him 9 hours to resolve the situation, but it took him an hour to tell the fucking story about it.
Christ.
Is Jay in there?
I don't know.
Because Jay knows about the situation because I was late into the studio because of it. Sorting out a gas thing. Like basically, I was speaking to
Ronaldo and Rivaldo, this was just fucked.
Turns out, gas meter was out. Turns out the British gas lady knew where it was, and I was arguing with her saying it's not there. And I'm there literally pointing at, and I'm trying to work something thinking it was a gas meter for ages. I'm saying, she's like, press A, press B, and I'm like,
so what was
there's no A, there's no B, but literally the whole time, the meter that I was playing with was just an electrical meter reading thing, nothing to do with gas.
So it was electrics, not gas.
But it was next to the electric fuse box, And the thing next to it's just a thing that gives you readings about different electricals in your house. But I thought that was a gas meter.
But was the gas meter next to it?
The gas meter was outside, like the lady said. But I said it's
Right. Anyway, I fucking listened to this for an hour yesterday. I'm not listening to it again here today.
He found it though.
I got a question for you. We got 1,000 likes yet?
Okay.
Almost. All right. I'm going to give you the story anyway. Right. So we as humans, or me and Dre as humans, and you as you, right? We can't see the air that we breathe, right?
Well, you can.
Right.
When it's cold.
Okay. So we can't see the oxygen that we're breathing in all the time. Do you think it's the same for fish?
Come again?
Do you think they see the water that they're in?
Fish.
Surely. Oh, go on. You think? You give.
How would they know? They've never experienced life outside the water.
Nah, because if they're near the top,
Hello? Yeah, they do.
if they're near the top,
Yeah, they
water
do.
moves, doesn't it?
Yeah, they
You can
do, they
see
do, they do, they
waves,
do.
you can see
Can
blah
they?
blah blah. But
You can see
yeah.
the light coming through it.
No, but you know, right?
How
you're
many
in a
fish
pond.
pop their head up out of the water?
No, but they look up and they see things moving. Ah, no, you are right actually, because no, but then they don't know what air is. Do you know what I mean? Like we know what water is because we've been in water, but they've never really been in the air. So they
I want
don't know what
Ronaldo's
the air
answer.
is. Go on,
Trying to figure it out.
that might help
No.
you out a bit.
The thing is, there's no way of knowing
Oh, really?
because you can't ask it.
So I'm asking your opinion. Do you think fish?
Oh, can you?
So the thing
You're
is,
like, oh,
Do you think fish recognise that they're in a
this
dimension
is what I don't like.
surrounded by water?
This is what I don't like about the study of animals. Do you know what I mean? Because
you can't ask.
you can't ask them.
Have you ever seen gorillas that can do sign language?
You can't ask them anything. So like
Have you actually seen gorillas that can do
the
sign
whole
language?
the whole
It will
science,
blow your fucking
the
mind.
whole
Ronnie.
science around animals is just educated guessing.
Right. Have you?
'Cause you-
Answer me this: have you seen the gorilla that does sign language, or the orangutans
No.
that do sign language? Right. We're going to go upstairs in a minute, and I'm going to show you these, and
Yeah.
you're going to lose your
I've
shit.
probably seen them, but obviously there's more animals than just an orangutan. Or a monkey.
Yeah, I know, but you're not going to get a parakeet to do sign language, are you?
What do you think?
Or a
Stu?
tuna. What do I think? Do I think fish
the
know that
water,
they're in
yeah.
water? No.
What about when they get
No,
taken out?
that they do because they panic when they're out of it.
Yeah.
They panic 'cause they can't breathe.
They go,
It's like if I put my hands around your throat, you're going to go, whoa, this ain't right.
No, but if they're not breathing, then they obviously know they're not in a place they usually are.
Yeah, so that's the only but they're panicking because they can't breathe, not because they're like, whoa, I'm supposed to be in that bit. And usually they only come out of the water as they're dying.
I think they see water. Because if you put your hand through air, right, there's nothing. You don't see anything. But if you see something like move really quick in the water, there's like little bubbles and stuff. And if you're near the top of the water, you see it go up and down and up and down and up and down.
Do you?
Yeah. Because it's just like
But you can say the same
ripples
about
and
air.
waves.
You see clouds.
Yeah, but that's not the air. That's just like part.
Yeah, but you see them above you.
Or maybe the fish see it when they look up.
The thing is, we're never gonna know the answers to this.
Get a fish on next week and we'll ask it. We'll just get one on. You'll know.
Yeah.
You'll know.
Answers in the poll anyway was 46 to 43. These polls never add up, did they? Have you ever noticed that? It's always 99%.
Yeah, because some people
no.
are about to.
That's quite split. That's quite split.
K.I. Casey says top 4 priority with a super chat there. Need Champions League money and to attract players. Glazers will lose the amount spent to warrant a quiet signing in January. Forgetting spent nothing last January reserved for the new manager. Cups for youth, UEL, and for second team for form. I don't know what that last sentence means.
Is anyone sick of just seeing needs to get top 4? We need to get top 4.
No, because it unfortunately has become a thing. With the advent of the Champions League sort of top 4 thing, it actually has become a thing that you need to do. I mean, you
know
see
it's a
people
thing,
take over fucking
but
Leicester and
does
go,
it-
we have to get top 4.
But does it not just make you think every time you see it? For fuck's sake.
Yeah, a little bit. I'd love to hark back to the days
Yeah.
of the Cup Winners' Cup and things like that.
Yeah, and I just think this year we just need a trophy. We need a cup final, even just like a semi-final to Wembley. We just need something to get excited about.
I was
Please,
saying,
man.
no, but
It's
I
so
was
long.
I was the one saying that the Europa League win would be
Oh,
the
yeah, we
easy
had that
segue
chat,
into the
didn't we?
Champions League anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Nothing that's
I
30
don't- I
something
don't think
games
it's
is easier, though, is
It's
it?
not easy, man.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. You can so easily just have a bad tie
Nah, it's tough. But
or
Do you
lose
think-
on penalties like we did to
Do you
Villarreal.
like, have you ever seen where two oceans meet? And the
Yeah.
colour's completely
But
different on
that's
them
just,
both.
it's just not true.
What?
Nah, it is. I know the photo you're on about. It's when like one's really blue and one's a bit darker.
Yeah.
And then people are like, oh, that's the Atlantic and that's the Pacific.
Yeah, that's
just
literally
not.
what it is.
It's not.
It's literally what it is.
It's not. It's definitely not.
What is it then?
I don't know, but I know it's
So you
not
don't
that.
know,
No,
but
I
you
know
don't
it's
know
not
it's not
that
that.
because I've seen those photos on like Insta.
No,
and then people
there's
are like, no,
different
it's not
sort of
because
salt
this.
content of different oceans, and they do sort of step. Okay, let's presume that that's correct then, because it's not
Okay.
relevant to my question, or it is relevant to my question. Do you think when a fish crosses in from this bit into this bit, it tastes different?
Yeah, it's got to do like passport control and stuff.
How can it taste change depending on the environment?
Well, it's literally saltier.
It's still the same fish.
No, not not when you
water.
eat the fish. Does the fish, as it's breathing the water in, does it taste different?
You thought eating the fish?
Like you go away on holiday, like the air smells
That's
different.
So funny.
So you're basically saying if the fish is aware that it's gone into it's
Yeah, it's
crossed
crossed
the
over
border.
for a different water.
I reckon it is aware of that. 100%.
Hey Ronaldo, which
Probably
month
so.
has got 28 days?
All of them.
Nailed it. Done you there. It's absolutely done you there.
Yes.
Listen, I do my research
That's sick.
on calendars.
Jonah
Yeah.
says, "Yo, Steve, if you can, then you should do. Don't waste them talents." What? We still talking about fish here, or what? What are we on about?
How was your walk this morning, Steve?
Fine. Listen, everyone's asked me that today, which I appreciate everyone caring, but like it's one walk in. You know what I mean?
I've
Done 3 walks this week.
It's a shame.
Like, the
no,
pace
so
not a
it's-
thing.
So
It's a
nothing,
shame that-
no like pains or anything, aches.
Yeah, I've been wearing the same boots for. I've probably done 200 kilometers or something in these boots that I've got on at the moment. Some new boots recently, and what I like about them is not even a whisper of a blister, not even a hot spot. They've been absolute sensational. That's the
class.
worst thing in boots. Today, got out of the shower, felt like I was like standing on a stone, and I was like trying to rub my foot, see what's going on. I've got a tiniest little like match head size blister underneath my heel, my left foot, because a stone got into my shoe.
Oh, is it?
So like that could have been rough, but I've been wearing shorts as I've been doing it. So I've had the top of my boots have been open, so I'm just going to wear pants. I was only going to wear shorts for a couple of days anyway. But yeah, so if you're not aware, my Instagram is where you're going to find out everything that I'm doing at the moment. I'm walking 457 kilometers for the 457 troops that we lost in Afghanistan specifically. There's a video on there explaining why. There's some links on my stories, and I'll make them into a highlight as well in case they go away, so you can go and check it out. We're raising money for Royal British Legion. Royal British Legion is one of the veterans charities that actually does good work within the veterans community. Today I started, 30th September today. I go all the way to Remembrance Sunday, which is the 13th of November. 45 days, at least 10K a day. I've got a 16 and 11 in there as well. Varying amounts of weight. It'll go as high as probably £40, and it'll go as low as £15, £20 as well. I'm trying to do different things with my coach Luke that I'm working with at the moment to sort of like use these as real opportunities to build fitness. So tomorrow's I've got to try and keep my heart rate over 160 as I'm doing it. So it's gonna be fucking brutal as I'm doing it. But yeah, that's how I'm rocking and rolling it. Trying to raise 10 grand. There's doing 10,000 meters a day. I thought 10,000 would be a good sort of target. We're like 3% of the way there. So yeah. That's what I'm doing. I don't think it's going to become a grind until a week, 2 weeks in. That's when it's going to be like, fuck me, I don't want to get up anymore.
Yeah, that's going to be.
It's because it's every single day.
Chris will have
not
a
even
picture though, will he,
resting.
of you and the magic mushroom.
No, I sent that into the group. Did I? Do you want me to try and send Chris don't know how to get him on yet, does he? He's still pretty new to it. But yeah, I found.
What do you mean by that, Chris?
Next time.
I'll see if I can put it on the camera.
Thought that was an insult.
So
It's like you done me.
can
you
that
done me
camera
on
can that camera pick me up? Can that camera see this?
Did you eat that?
No. A lot of people inboxed me saying that though. So I found an Amanita muscaria mushroom on my hike the other day, which is the very famous red with white spots.
Amanita
Super
muscaria.
Mario.
Amanita muscaria it's called, yeah. And it was about that fucking big. It was huge. Well, I took it home and I've planted it in my garden at home.
By the looks of it, you took a. By the looks of
I
it,
have no idea.
By the looks of
I
it,
have no idea.
by the looks of it, something's took a bite out of it.
Yeah,
That's
someone's
what I
took a
mean.
bite of it. It was already sort of like half out of the ground.
There's like some.
But yeah, so a lot of people have said these are
Sheep, like,
poisonous.
tripping.
These are the ones that you eat to trip your balls off, apparently. But that's the. So I said it's a deadgy yesterday. I was like, there's a lot of thought that this is the origin of Santa Claus, is the Amanita muscaria mushroom. And Dej was like, what are you fucking on about? And then he Googled it and he was like, oh shit. So they think the reason you have presents under the tree, they grow, that's literally at the foot of a pine tree. These mushrooms literally grow at the bottom of pine trees. That's why the presents left under the tree isn't fucking Toys R Us and gift vouchers. The present is mushrooms. That's why Santa Claus is red and white as well.
Is that why Stretford Paddock's red and white?
If you want it to be.
You can always make a link, can't you? What? You can always link anything in it. There's the inspo.
Tim says, fly agaric. Yeah, that's the other name for Amanita muscaria. Yeah.
It's a toadstool.
Yeah. So you're supposed to be able to... I don't know how you prepare it in trick balls, put it that way. And I wasn't prepared to fucking try either.
Some people had a bite, didn't they?
Now, the thing is, you did say it's something that is used to you can become high.
That, yeah. That's the presents under the tree. I noticed more mushrooms today. No more red ones, but loads of just the regular brown-looking ones on the hike today. Fucking tons of them. It's basically the whole route is just full of pines. So
that is interesting.
Is that the most dangerous thing you've come across hiking?
No, humans.
On these walks?
Yeah.
Non-human.
Because humans are the most dangerous thing in the world.
Non-human. Yeah. Not that PC crap.
Most of them are chill.
Yeah, I don't really come across it. It's very quiet.
Like no animals, nothing. It's not like hiking in America.
I see pheasants. There's like wild pheasants. Seen rabbits.
Yeah.
I see ducks occasionally.
Is it peaceful? Are you always listening to something, or do you ever?
Do you ever
turn it off?
Peaceful, Dre. Me. No.
I know, but like
I've got like Metallica and fucking shit like that just going bananas in my head. Let the bodies hit the floor and things like that. Yeah, I'm thinking some dark shit when I'm on this. Yeah, don't worry about that.
You need to get a shot of like that music playing and like your face, and then it cuts away and it's just you and it's just silent, and you can just hear
just my breathing, my grunting. Chris says, "Can someone tell Tamori to declare for Canada because Southgate's not going to give him a chance? At least to be a starter." Is there some talk Ivan Toney could declare for Jamaica? Is that a thing?
Yeah, Tony could, but a lot of these players, they can declare for these countries, but they kind of hold off because you want to play for England. So obviously, if you've got obviously Tamori still has a chance where he probably will have an England cap at some point, so he's not going to play for Canada, is he? Canada in the World Cup, they've made it. Obviously, Alphonso Davies, Jonathan David, got a couple of players. Add Tamori to that, they might actually be decent.
They could be decent, yeah. Dwayne Noah Super Chat says, even if the fish knew where it was, it would soon forget afterwards. I wonder if that's true about the fish memory thing.
Apparently
that's probably easily proven.
Apparently it's longer than 3 seconds, but it's still pretty short.
Nick Hill says Ronaldo waiting for mountain lion and bears.
For what?
Yeah, Ronaldo's expecting like the fucking wilderness of the UK to have anything more than a pheasant. That's it. That's the thing with Britain, right? If you you do like a wild camp somewhere in Britain, the scariest thing that's going to happen is some other fucking humans trying to piss on you or something while you're asleep. In America, you've got bears. I think
fucking scare me, man.
Is it the anthropomorphization? What the fucking hell word am I trying to think of? Anthropomorphization, is it? Is that the word?
I don't know.
Basically, where they've made bears.
How
the fuck is... What am I trying to say here?
Yeah.
Basically, the way they've made teddy bears to be this thing that children go to sleep with. Like, Blake has a fucking bear, Bumbly Bear, right? She goes to sleep with a fucking baby bear. But if we really fucking deeped it, bears are the most apex fucking predator. Like, if you could put a bear against a lion, a tiger, a human, like, a bear's coming out on top most of the time.
Depends on the bear, innit?
Yeah, but like... All right, the average brown bear, yeah. The average brown bear is going, or a polar bear. This is it, right? Bears, cute little teddy bear, it's going to rip your face off and eat you asshole first.
Yeah, but you can say that as well about like lions and tigers and stuff.
Everyone's got bears, but like, I think bears are way more common as a cuddly toy than a lion or a tiger is.
It's called the teddy bear, isn't it?
Yeah.
You are right.
So, like, this whole fucking shit about, like, my 3-year-old daughter sleeps with a fucking teddy bear. Like... bears are the scariest thing in the world, and people will fish in lakes in America and Canada where there's bears, and that blows my fucking mind.
They like kick rocks down at them to scare them and stuff, but like if they come up to you, apparently if a bear comes up to you, you just got to get in a ball and just hope that
or you hope that you've got a backpack big enough that they're going to scratch the back of your backpack and not actually get through to your ribs, you're fucked.
I know.
You are so fucked.
1% chance.
Yeah, but we know there's certain areas in America where they're literally living alongside them.
Yeah.
Super chat
Basically, who's your neighbour?
from drop kicks.
Grizzly
That
bear.
noise.
There's one lily pad on a pond. The number of pads double every day. It takes 40 days to cover the whole pond. How many days does it take to cover half of it?
39.
There's one lily pad on a pond. Number of pads double every day.
39.
It takes 40 days to cover.
39. You pair of absolute fucking drips. 39
I
days.
can't understand the question yet.
It's 39. The answer's 39.
But I want to know why
There's-
it's 39.
there's
Because
one-
if it doubles every fucking day and it takes 40 days to cover it, then it's going to be half full the day before.
So it's not.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not if
Magic.
it no, but so if the pad
that's clever.
nah, so if the pad doubles from 1 to 2, why
That's
wouldn't
20.
wouldn't the next day
No,
be
it's
4,
39, it's 39.
4, then
39,
8,
it's
then
39.
16, then
Nah, it's
32?
39, it's 39. I've got it. It's
That's
39.
Such a flawed question.
Jesus Christ, you two fucking give
Do
me
you
a
think
headache.
Cites oil reserves... Oh, it's gone.
So I'm getting an electric car.
Oil reserves will make it so that the club can profit on Europe's energy crisis.
I have no idea.
I have no idea, bro.
Probably everyone's trying to make
Call
money at
British
some
Gas.
point.
What was that next one? There's another super chat down there. Young Chris.
I'm from
Whitbird says, still keeping Howland as my captain on EPL.
Don't do it.
fantasy.
Because I always forget.
Yeah, I'm keeping him because at least
Listen,
if he scores,
it'll soften the blow,
yeah,
won't
it
it?
softens the blow slightly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
slightly.
Yeah, bears are well scary, aren't they?
Yeah, fuck bears.
Fuck bears.
Fuck bears. All that people think they're cute and cuddly. Like, fuck that noise. They'll eat you. They'll absolutely fucking eat you.
Innit?
But yeah, in England, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Like
That
literally, the
lily
wild
pad
animals in
question
England.
was so dumb.
And if we see mice,
got-
we're like, ah!
You got
Bro, it's a mouse.
you got deers, you got rabbits or hares, which is just a big rabbit. You got pheasants
like
and
that.
random ass birds.
There's a lot of animals that
That's
are
it.
like
Oh, you've got fucking. There's nothing really wild that's going to try and eat you.
There's got to be something.
that. Nah, but
You got those big fucking ginger cows with the horns. The morags, is that what they're called?
is there any bison?
with a nose piercing.
What, in England? I think the only country in the world that has bison's America. I could be wrong on that, but I only know of them from America. I don't think they're anywhere else. Do you know where horses come from?
Fucking all over the gaff.
Nope. They
Where?
originate from one place, I think.
Is
Could be
it-
well wrong on this, but I'm
Can
going
you tell me
to
the
say,
con- can you
I'm
tell me
going to
the
say
con-
it confidently,
can you tell me the
and then we're
continent?
just going to pretend
Can you
I'm
tell me the
correct.
continent?
Where?
The continent, Asia.
Mongolia?
Correct.
Yeah, fucking lucky guess.
Horses are from Mongolia.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers for tuning in, as always. Oh yeah, there's a big game this weekend, isn't there? As well as City and United. So
Yeah.
What? Denham
Tomorrow.
Paddock.
yeah, Denham Paddock. Listen, Manchester Challenge Cup. That's literally the Champions League for our club because it's one where they take clubs from loads of different leagues in the area. So it's about as Champions League as it gets for us, really, isn't it? For a club at Step 6 or where we are, this is the biggest fucking trophy you can win. Not only that, it's literally a fucking big trophy as well. It looks like the Challenge Cup in Rugby League, like a big ornate silver fucker. We lost to Denton in the quarter-final last year, incorrectly, because we fucking snotted them. Tomorrow, we have a chance to put that right. It's at MEA, it's free entry tomorrow, 2 o'clock. Details are all on my Twitter or on Paddock's Twitter if you want to come along. Bring flares, bring noise, let's go fucking bananas. See you in the next one. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.